Paul, did you see Linda just sent you an email regarding chair notes, sort of directions for the usual stuff? If you would like, I will read the boilerplate information. You just need to direct me to do so for the public hearing for Chafeeville.
Okay. So I open the public hearing and then ask you to read that, right?
Right. I'll open the public hearing. I'll read the legal notice, and then you can ask me to read the information.
Okay.
Then I just quickly did that, so it still says commission instead of agency, just as an FYI. And I don't think you need to read the public hearing notice again because you opened it. Wasn't the hearing?
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
It should be a fairly short meeting.
I think so, yep.
When's our next long meeting coming up?
Well, I think it depends on when you decide to, if you agree with my motion to schedule the public hearing for January 19th.
That'll be it then.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to.
I'm going to start recording this meeting on GoToMeeting. Emmy is meanwhile setting up the booth, but I'm going to, I always forget to do this. So I'm going to start recording it.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay.
One, two, three. We're only missing Sarah, right?
I believe so, yes. 2, 3. Let's see.
Is Luann there?
Luann's here, yeah.
Oh, okay. There she is.
Oh, Sarah's here even. Okay, very good. Okay, so we got everybody. We got a full house.
Yep.
So nobody's seated.
Correct.
Paul, this is John. Do you mind if I shut up my camera then to just save battery?
You're going to listen though, right?
Yes, I'll listen.
Okay.
I'll
Okay,
so,
all right. Sure.
Yeah, something happens, just holler.
Okay, all right. That's fine.
Thanks.
So it is 6:30. And I call to order the Inland Wetlands Agency meeting of January 4th, 2021. All right, 6:30 p.m. Members present are Aho, Accorsi, Chandy, Cooley, Cotton, Hall, Plant, Ron, Ward, DeVivo, and Frattoni. So we have a full house to start the year.
I think you just said that alternates DeVivo and Frattoni.
Sorry.
And they're not seated. Yeah, sorry.
They're not seated, right. We have minutes from last year, December 21st, to consider. Vera, are you moving to consider the
can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you. Yeah.
I'd like to move that we accept them with a correction. I see that Luann, I don't believe Luann's name is mentioned in either the roll call or in the public hearing.
Okay. And she was there.
Yeah.
Okay. All
So
right.
I move that with correction they be accepted.
Okay. Moved by Ward with the correction. Second by
Lance,
Ron.
Second, Paul.
Plant second. Okay. All in favor? Okay. Minutes have passed. We had communications from the Conservation Commission.
And those their minutes of 12/29 speak to the application that you'll have the public hearing. So I will add that to the record for that at that time.
Okay. All right. We do have a public hearing. Would be the time to open the public hearing. So at 6:32 p.m., I open the public hearing for the application of Mallory Bagwell for wetland restoration on property located at 512 and 514 Chaffeeville Road. Members present are Ahua, Corsi, Chandy, Cooley, Cotton Hall, Plant, Ward, Ron and Ward, and alternates DeVivo and Frattoni. Neither one are seated. Jennifer or Linda, could someone read the
I can read.
boilerplate for me? Okay,
I can read, Paul.
thank you.
So just a reminder that all members, staff, including me, and participants, this is Linda Payne, this is Jennifer Kaufman, what am I, for the record. And I'm just to remind you that all members, staff, and participants need to state their name before speaking. For those viewing at home on live stream or channel 191, please understand that there's a 1 to 2 minute time lag due to transmission delays. If you will be providing verbal testimony during the public hearing, you can call into the meeting at any time. We will take a few minutes after the applicant's presentation to give people time to call in. Guidelines for the public hearing. The purpose of tonight's hearing is to receive relevant information about the proposed application from the public. Order and decorum shall be maintained at all times during the hearing. The agency reserves the right to adjourn the hearing to another date and time if the discussion becomes unruly and unmanageable. Given the virtual format, we ask that everyone bear with us if we encounter any glitches. If we are unable to overcome technical issues and or the agency is having difficulty understanding information presented in this format, the hearing will be continued to another meeting. We will hear from the applicant and staff first, and then we will go to public comment. When addressing the commission, state your name and address and any party, group, or organization you represent, if any, for the record before beginning your comments. Limit your comments to the subject of the public hearing. Avoid repetition where possible. Summarize reports and letters that are submitted to the commission rather than reading them aloud, as all written information is copied and distributed to members. Direct all questions and comments to the chair. Do not attempt to engage dialogue with members of the agency, staff, or any other parties to the hearing. Speak clearly and ensure your comments are audible to members of the public watching from home and are recorded. Agency members may ask questions of anyone providing testimony, but will not discuss the relative merits of the application until the hearing is closed. Failure to abide by these policies and procedures may result in a muting of your microphone and or dismissal from the hearing. Instructions on how to participate in the public hearing are listed on the agenda. I'm going to share my screen. And I apologize. Let's see here. I just need to pull up the screen so that people know where to, how to access the public hearing. Sorry about that technical difficulty. Green. There we go. There we go. So Instructions on how to participate in the public hearing are listed on the agenda. And for those who would like to call in, please call 1-872-240-3412 and use the following access code that is on the screen right now, 887-562-557. And that is, you can call by, that number again is 872-240-3412 and use the following access code, 887-557. If you encounter any problems calling into the hearing, please call 880-429-3330 and a staff member will assist you. So now we can, the public hearing is open, and I'd like to add, just note for the record, the Conservation Commission minutes of 12/29/2020 that speak to this application, as well as the application materials and my staff memo of both 12/29 and the one for the prior meeting. And
So now would be the time to hear from the applicant?
that's correct.
Okay,
I'll give just a little bit of an introduction to
okay,
this.
all right.
Sorry, my screen is kind of acting weird. Basically, you opened this public hearing on September 21st. It's for the wetland restoration on property located at 512 and 514 Chafeeville Road. The hearing was immediately continued so that the Conservation Commission could have time to comment, as well as staff. And we were waiting on hearing from a soil scientist and getting a fee paid. That's all been taken care of. And for those of you who are at the field trip, you recall that this past summer, the applicant clear and stumped a water course and adjacent to an intermittent stream. The water course was impounded. There was a culvert that was already existing there, a 10-inch culvert, and that was associated with the wetlands application associated with the subdivision. And so Mr. Bagwell was issued a notice of violation. He hired one soil scientist and then another soil scientist. And basically the soil scientist instructed him to remove the riser so that the flow of the intermittent stream would be reestablished, and then to install hay bales downstream to trap any sediment. And that has been taken care of. Mr. Zulik, the registered soil scientist, is recommended that the area right now be overseeded with annual rye seed to stabilize the disturbed area, and using a method called frost cracking, which he explains in his report. And I'm also recommending that the applicant develop and implement a native planting plan so that appropriate species are reestablished in the area. So Mallory, do you want to add anything to that?
No, thanks for that summary. First of all, this has been quite the learning curve, and which I hope never to use again. No, I went through everything that Rick went over in the last meeting too. The native plants is fine. I suppose Rick would be a resource for that. I know that there's a lady who works with us from the Boston Conservancy, and she was saying, well, some of them were just the skunk cabbage that you had in there, but I gather that there's some other things that would either arise just from what's already there. But anyway, I can check with Rick on that. Other than that, no. If there's
the other important thing will be to put some sort of jute matting or biodegradable matting down on the slopes to stabilize that, and that's that's also in my report.
Yep. Yeah, not a problem with that. I'm sure Rick will just advise me what works best with regards to that, or does that come from your committee?
No, that would be something that Rick would do.
Okay.
Okay. So do we have any public comment on this?
And are we still looking at the slide?
Yeah. You're still
Okay.
sharing your screen.
Okay. So if, again, the public, if you'd like to call in and comment on this application, the call-in number is 872-240-3412. The access code is 887-562-557. So call-in number 872-240-3412, and then you need to use the access code 887-562-557. We can just give the public a minute to see if anyone calls in.
Well, if we don't have any callers, we could close this hearing, right?
That's correct, unless the agency has any questions or would like any
Oh,
clarification.
yes.
Anything.
Any questions from the agency? Okay, I don't see any. Would someone like to move to close the hearing? Why don't you stop? What? Okay,
I move to close the hearing.
okay. Moved by Jen,
Second it.
second by Ward. Any discussion? All in favor? Raise your hand. Okay. Unanimous, I believe. Yes.
So
Okay.
can we know for the record that the hearing was closed at 6:43?
6:43. Yep. Okay, now we can move on to old business, which is the application of Mallory Bagwell for inland wetlands restoration. And now would be the time for any discussion and we have some potential motions, right?
You do. I did send out a motion sheet and I can put that up on the screen if
Okay.
someone wants to put that forth.
Jen, was that changed from what was in the packet? Because
There were just a few the typos that I actually fixed in the packet, and I re-uploaded that. So I would, if you're putting forth the motion, it's best to be safe to either read the one on the screen or the one that I emailed out just at.
Okay,
I can put the motion through.
okay. Go ahead.
Plan.
Oh, okay. Lots of volunteers. Okay, go ahead.
I move to grant inland wetlands license pursuant to the Inland Wetlands and Watercourses Regulations of the Town of Mansfield to Mallory Bagwell, file W1617, for wetland restoration associated with a notice of violation. In approving this application, the Inland Wetlands Agency considered all public hearing testimony and communications. This action is based on finding that the proposed plan will adequately restore the disturbance to the wetlands and watercourses associated with tree clearing and stumping, grading, and watercourse impoundment, and is conditioned on the following provisions being met. On February 1st, 2021, disturbed area shall be overseeded and covered with a biodegradable erosion mat specified by registered soil scientists and approved by the Inland Wetland Agent. The Inland Wetlands Agent is authorized to grant extensions if needed due to unforeseen weather. 2, for a period of 8 months, the disturbed area shall be monitored monthly, and after each measurable precipitation event of 0.25 inches or greater, to ensure that no further erosion and sedimentation is occurring and the area is stabilizing. If further erosion occurs, corrective action, including but not limited to further erosion, matting, and mulching, shall occur immediately. 3, a native planting and implementation plan shall be specified by a registered soil scientist and approved by the inland wetlands agent. Said plan shall be implemented by June 1st, 2021. 4, for a period of 2 years, no less than twice per year, the owner shall inspect the plantings and submit a report certifying that the plants are viable. At the end of the 2 years, the owner shall submit a report indicating that 80% the plants have survived and at least 75% of these areas are covered by native species. If this survival rate is not maintained, then a corrective action plan shall be developed and implemented after approval by the inland wetland agent. Failure to comply with this prescribed restoration plan shall result in enforcement action pursuant to the Mansfield Inland Wetlands and Watercourse Regulations, Section 14 in Connecticut General Statutes, Section 22A-44.
Moved by Plant,
Second, Chandy.
second by Chandy. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Okay, I believe that everyone's hand is up, passed unanimously. We have one other piece of business, and that is to receive an application. That's
That is
correct.
correct.
The application is of Haven Communities, formerly Haven Campus Community, for the construction of a mixed-use development and associated amenities on 3 parcels located on Stores Road. I think we're familiar with this. We've seen this before.
There's 3 parcels on Shores Road and then a vacant adjacent parcel. So it's 4 parcels total. Just
Okay. Now we have, the applicant has requested to waive the filing fee, correct?
that is correct.
So that's something we could discuss first. And then, so I guess as I understand it, they've already paid the application once. This would be paying it the second time, and we do not have to pay the Willimantic Chronicle because of COVID.
Correct.
So our expenses are pretty low for the second time around.
The only direct cost we have right now, aside from staff time to review this, which much of that has already occurred, is the $60 state fee. So
Vera, you have an opinion on this?
I do.
Okay. Good.
I think the $60 should be paid. I also think there should be some time recognized in organizing all of this again for putting it forward by the staff. So I don't think that I think there should be some fee involved in that. I have no idea how much of the $1,000, but I think some, and I agree that they shouldn't have to pay full freight.
Do you have a number for us?
No, I really don't, because I don't know the time involved. That would,
Okay.
Jen maybe could help us out with that.
let's see. Well, I think if you did a quarter of the fee, that would be very reasonable. That would be more than reasonable for the town's perspective. You could do anywhere from, I'd say, $200 to $250 plus the state fee.
So I would propose it would be $310.
Okay, all right. We have a proposal. Yes, Ken.
I'm prepared to second that, Paul.
Okay, so we'll assume that is
So,
moved and seconded. Wait, Jen's holding us up. Okay.
Yeah, I think let's, so I have a motion before you.
Okay.
And it's the second motion, and that was emailed out to you. I'll put that on the slide again.
Okay.
Let's see.
Is that different again from what's in the packet? Because I didn't get the attachments for the motions.
Oh, you didn't? Okay. Yeah, I would read the one that you received today, just to be 100% sure. So you have two sections to that motion. The first one is if you agree to that a waiver or reduction of the fee, then you can move to waive. In this case, it would be $750 of the fee, and that would be that first portion. So it'd be waive $750, and then they would pay also the state fee.
Renu, do you have a yes? Go ahead.
Question.
Yes.
Don't we need to receive the application? Or?
Well, you can. I think you probably yes. Let's start with receiving it first. We kind of jumped the gun.
You're right. You're right. Okay. Yeah, I got the cart before the horse here.
Yeah, that's okay. I was thinking we could do that, but Banu is absolutely right.
So Banu are you moving to receive it? Okay.
I will read. It's a nice long receipt.
Oh, thank you.
I move to receive the revised application submitted by Haven Communities, formerly Haven Campus Communities, IWA file 1614-1, under the Inland Wetlands and Watercourses regulations of the town of Mansfield for the construction of a mixed-use development consisting of 7 new buildings with a 5-story parking deck, paved parking areas, and associated amenities on 3 parcels located at 1753, 1733, and 1717 Stores Road. Assessor's parcel IDs 8.15.8, 8.15.9, and 8.15.10, and a vacant adjacent parcel, assessor's parcel ID 8.15.9-1, as shown on a map dated 7/17/2020, revised through 12/29/2020, and as described in application submissions, and to refer said application to staff and the Conservation Commission for review and comment. 2, schedule a public hearing for Tuesday, January 19th, 2021 at 6:30 p.m. via web-based virtual meeting to hear comments regarding this application. 3, authorize staff to engage the services of Landtech Inc. to provide independent review of the application pursuant to Section 8.6 of Mansfield's Inland Wetland and Watercourses regulations. Fees incurred for this review will be the responsibility of the applicants. A deposit in the amount of the estimated cost shall be provided prior to the issuance of a notice to proceed.
Okay, moved by Chandy. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ward. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Okay. So it has been received unanimously. Now we can move on to the fee waiver. Ken, you want to put that forward?
Yeah, I'll put that forward as suggested by Jen a few moments ago. Move to waive $750 of the fee associated with the application of Haven Communities, formerly Haven Campus Communities, file W1614-1, for the construction of a mid-use development and associated amenities on parcels located 753, 733, and 1717 Stores Road. Assessors parcels ID 8.15.8, 8.15.9, 8.15.10, and a vacant adjacent parcel, assessor's parcel ID 8.15.9-1, and require the applicant to pay the $60 fee. What I've dropped there is the word only.
Yep.
Okay,
You
very
can
good.
remove that.
Okay, moved by Ron,
Plant seconds.
second by Plant. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your hand. Okay, I see everybody's hand. Okay. I believe we are done for tonight unless we have any other communication.
You do not.
Hopefully we can start this year virtually and end it in person. The opposite of last year.
Right. Let's hope.
Let's all get our vaccines soon. And we are, the meeting is closed at 6:56 p.m.
Thank you very much.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Take care.
Happy New Year, everybody.
New Year.
This conference is no longer being recorded.